Greetings, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Today is the day that Mars rules. And Mars is currently in Scorpio with the Sun and Mercury and Lilith. Ooh, Lilith in Scorpio. Anyway, I don't do a whole lot of conversations about places like Lilith and the other sort of asteroids, so I'm not going to distract myself with that. But Lilith and Scorpio is really powerful energy. Okay, so today is Mars Day, and Mars is in Scorpio. Mars is the original ruler of Scorpio. And Mars, in Western astrology, we make Mars about like attraction.
Hello.
How you doing? The masculine, the external world. But Mars in Scorpio is power. It is power. And the most important thing that I have learned that I did not understand, like in the technicality of it, because I feel like I have a better understanding of that now, is that we are energetic systems. Your body is a technology. Your body is a technology. And that technology needs power to run. Like you plug in your lamp and it needs power to make the light. Your body is also generating a frequency and it creates power. And it is an energy source. And Mars in Scorpio is about your power. And one of the ways that we generate power is through sexual connection. That's Mars in Scorpio. Our sexuality is very key to our power. And it's not about if you're having sex or not. It's understanding that sex is a generative energy. That's why you have the friction of going up and down and in and out, because it's creating energy. It's creating power that you are sharing with that other person. So with Mars in Scorpio, we are accessing the power from our lineage, because Scorpio is who you come from, the people you come from. And somebody had to have sex in order to make you. You come from a sexual experience. That's how powerful sex is that it called you into your physical body. And so, this is why, to me, this conversation around liberation and freedom is so important, because you want to become responsible and true to your own system. You want to understand. It's like your body is like a bank vault, and all the energy and thoughts and all that you do is creative. It's creating something. And that's why yesterday, if you guys go watch my video from yesterday, and I was saying how we have made money God, when we don't understand as Black people that we were the capital 300 years ago. Why? Because we generate so much power. We generate so much energy. We are an incredible resource. And now that old system is over with, it has been over with since 2019. So now we're like 5 years in, but all the calendars are all sort of wonky anyway. But the stars don't lie, okay? That's why I follow the stars. And what we're to do now is to become owner of your own energy so that you become conscious of it, right? So, if you're in a relationship, at least you know what you bring to that relationship. You know the value. You know your value. That's been a really funny video that's been going around where they're like, asking women, what do you bring to the relationship? What do you bring to the table? And, women are being sort of resistant to that question. But really, do they know what they bring to the table? And what you bring to the table is not about how much money you make. It's not about the things you have. That shit is secondary. What you bring to the table is your consciousness, your energy, your source, the thing that allows you to connect to the invisible realm. That is what is valuable. What's valuable is the ability to, you know, like white people owned the most creative people on the planet. And if you've not ever done any research on slavery and all of that sort of stuff, go look up who were the richest people in the world during slavery. Who were the richest people? They were the slave owners. The people who owned black people were the richest people in the world. And we want to say that that's because they were getting free labor, but it's not just the actual physical labor. That is valuable too, yes. That's why we go to work and we give people, you know, our labor for an hourly rate. There is value in that. But what's really valuable is the mind that can create the systems that actually make the world work. And that's what black people have. We have the mind that can tap into the unseen realms and predict human need. So, you know, black people had created the rice farms here in America that fed the world. Black people had created the cotton farms that fed and it's not, you have to think of it in these layers, because it's not just that you're creating the crops, you're creating the things that make the crops possible. You're creating the things that make the crops be able to go all around the world. That is the innovation of the black mind. So for us to own ourselves now and not be subject to, like I was telling you guys, when I was on food stamps, every year you had to prove that you hadn't made more money than this. You had to prove that you weren't growing. You had to prove that your energy was constricted to the limitations of what these requirements are to get these food stamps, so that you won't think, so that you won't grow, so that you won't create new things, so that you won't know yourself as God, as free, as capable of actually generating a whole reality. This is why the wedding industry, the marriage industry is so strong, because they want women to believe that they need someone else to make them feel safe. When you are tapped into the cosmos and to the energy of God, why do you need someone to make you feel safe when you are tapped into the creator of reality? For me, I just literally know that I'm protected because I'm a part of nature and I have a purpose here. And so I lean into this unseen wellspring of life that takes care of me all the time. But it's because I understand the cosmos and how it works. And because I understand how it works, I have confidence in leaning into it. That's why they don't teach it to you, because if you know how it works, you will be confident, you will have faith, and you will not be interested in, you would never want food stamps. You would never do anything to stifle your energy, because you would begin to see that there's a channel of cosmic energy that's constantly running through you. And that is true for all people, but especially black people and especially black women, because we have melanin. And that is why we were the ones who were enslaved, because we have the greatest connection to the invisible realm. And that connection fueled this thing called the United States of America. It fueled it with our labor, with our spirits, with our heart, with our blood, with our bone. We are the actual fuel that made this Western slavery possible. Now that that is over with in so many ways, they're fighting for it though, but it's over because the cosmos is changing. The way we relate to the cosmos is changing. So everything is changing. And so now the question is, can you be self-possessed, self-reliant, because you are connected to the cosmic flow of the universe? It's moving through you. And if you can awaken to that truth, then you can partner with that power within you and begin to build a new world based upon your codes, what you are here to do, what you are here to contribute. Because the old world is over and the new world is coming, and we are all being asked to build a new reality out of your consciousness, out of the way you think, out of the way you speak to yourself, out of the way you feel about yourself. So right now we have Mercury retrograde, starting its retrograde shadow. in Scorpio, and Mercury in Scorpio is about how your thoughts, the power of your thoughts, the power of the story you tell. So if you want to begin to reprogram your mind, go pick up that workbook. You can pick it up at my website, healwithmoonmama.com, or you can pick it up in my or in my link tree here in Instagram. But the thing that's so important is that we begin to really understand that we are a technology. You are a technology, okay? Your mind, like your cell phone is a technology, and it has all these things that make it work. So do you. And if you can begin to heal your trauma, heal these outdated stories and narratives, then your technology will begin to work as it is meant to work. And there are processes and practices and things you need to do to free yourself from the old way of being and tap yourself into the new. Now, what I said before is that reality is changing. So all this stuff that's going on, it's going to go away. It's going to dissolve. All this, the prices are high, and all that shit goes away when you begin to purify your subconscious, because you begin to tap into the frequency that is natural to you, and the universe meets your needs. Like, since I have been doing this work, and my mission, my work here is to help others wake up. That's my job. Like, I'm the one ringing the alarm now, saying, it's time to wake up, it's time to wake. That's how I'm programmed to be. I'm programmed to do that. So not only am I saying it, but I'm also creating tools and resources and environments to support you in this awakening phase. Because once we really wake up, we're going to really build a new world. But you got to let go of what they did and what they said and who hurt you. Like, you can't go into the new frequency with the old stories. They won't complement one another. So, with that, it's such an exciting time to be alive. Oh my God, it's so exciting to be alive. It is so exciting to be alive. I just had a client a moment ago. It was so good. And these young ones, they are not like us. The people in my generation, 60 and above and up until like 40, we have a lot of work to do because we've been on the planet in the way that it's been old for a long time. But these new ones, I just had a client, and she said to me, she's an Aquarius, she said, I can't see heaven. I'm just listening to her because I'm like, wow. She says, I can't see heaven because I'm so caught up in everything else. And as an Aquarius, if you're an Aquarius or you have Aquarius placements, Aquarius rules the eyes, you guys. It literally rules the eyes. We think we see with our eyes, but we do not see with our eyes. We perceive reality through a code that we're born with towards the future. So that's the only way I know how to say it, because this is the first time I've ever said it out loud. But because we really project reality, the story you tell yourself is what reality you're in. But if you have a lot of Aquarius placements, you're here for the future. Aquarius is the future. And when she said, I can't see heaven, Aquarius is also heaven. That let me know that she's experiencing separation, because hell is separation from the self. So what she basically told me was that I'm separate from myself. I feel I can't see what I'm really meant to see. She's an Aquarius. She can't perceive the future. She can't perceive, like, her intuition isn't strong. She's weighed down by trauma and codependent behaviors and family karma. She can't see. So when she said that, I was like, oh, okay, boom, 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 boom. Here's what you need. Here's what we got to do. Because she knows that it's not about what she's seeing in the world. She knows that it's coming from in her. And that's what I mean when I say that this is a technology. This is a technology. Your body is a technology. And when you can perceive when you tell a new story, Mercury and Scorpio, tell a new story. When you tell a new story, the story is your perception. So if you say, I hate this shit, the world is gonna give you more shit to hate because it's coming from inside of you. If you say, I'm doing so great, this is amazing, you know, I'm getting better and better and better, that's going to be your experience because it is perception through your own lens. And so go get the Mercury Retrograde workbook. Go get it. Go to my website and get it, healwithmoonmama.com. And that's really all I got to say, you guys. This stuff is so exciting, though. I'm so excited. And share my videos, please. Share my videos. Talk to people about the work, because this work, we need more of us to be doing it. Let's just say it that way. We don't need it, but it's fun when others are doing it with us, because you begin to speak a new language. You begin to see through a different lens. You begin to be guided by the force of the divine that is within you. And that's why I have Daughters of the 13 Moons, because we're all there in a conversation together about it, talking, sharing, you know, reminding one another what's up. Because the more we are in spaces together, the stronger we are. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. I love you very much. Bye.